Welcome to Tent Talk, the podcast with Nancy McCready, where we talk about life under the big tent of God's presence and the provoking process of discipleship. Here we go.
Hey everybody, welcome to Tent Talk. This is Nancy McCready. I'm sharing a word today, Flashpoint. There are moments in history and people in history, and when it all comes together, there is something that burst suddenly into action, yet it's been preceded by quite a process. Now, I shared this word in greater depth January 30th, just this past Sunday at Crossroads Church in Council Bluffs, Iowa. You can go on YouTube and find it. I'm sure it's going to show up on my social media. But right here on Tent Talk today, I want you to listen, because you can be a flashpoint person who is about to suddenly burst into action that you may not have realized was coming in the ordinary obedience of every day. Come on now. God's up to things, and you're involved in it. Love you all. Hey everybody, great to be together here on Tent Talk. So I just returned yesterday from a really rich, deep, strong time in Iowa working with launching the Producers Way School USA in person with those producers there in Council Bluffs, Iowa. Spent some time over in Nebraska with a great house church with our friend Jason Kirsch. It's not about how busy you are, but it's about watching what you're doing, producing as you go. And so today I just want to talk a little bit about this word flashpoint. I spoke on this at Crossroads Church there in Council Bluffs, Iowa this Sunday, January 30th. And it was really strong and intense for them as a church. And yet I know that this is this word flashpoint is for more than just one particular group of people. Flashpoint can mean a point at which someone or something burst suddenly into action. But I know that you know this, but let me remind you of this, is that when suddenlies happen with God, it's amazing how much has been happening under the radar. It does not fall out of the sky. It's not a green mist that comes under the door. It doesn't come even if you've been completely disobedient and you don't step in with God. It's not going to happen just because God has written it down, but somebody is about to burst suddenly into action. And they may not have even recognized that all the mundane, ordinary, drudgery things of their day that they have been faithful over, that they have simply continued to put one foot in front of the other, being who they are, walking with the Father, and suddenly it breaks into a whole nother depth and a whole nother way of expressing itself. And they realize nobody brought it to them, that God had already put it in them, but that wax on, wax off, paint the fence, Karate Kid kind of stuff, right, is now they realize, all that ordinary, boring stuff of the day that I have been diligent to do, I didn't realize it was shaping and forming and conditioning spiritual muscles deep within me. And lo and behold, I am ready for this flashpoint. You see, all throughout history, there have been flashpoint moments and there have been flashpoint people who lined up with those moments in history. Of course, Jesus is the forerunner in it all. That Galatians 4 says that in the proper time and in the fullness of time, he was sent. All had been prophesied, all had been laid out. People had just been doing, his whole lineage had just been doing what they do. And lo and behold, it all had set in motion the coming of the Lord Jesus. My friends, he is going to return again. We were not the generation that was there doing everything before. his first coming, but we are the generation who has something to do with his coming again. Now, before he splits the sky wide open and comes in the way that seems so, revelatory and so big, my friends, he's coming right now in your flashpoint moment of your life. He's coming right now in you. He's coming right now building his house his way, and he's getting people ready. We are in a time bomb moment. It is the fullness of time, and God has been getting people ready, and God is about to send them out, even if it's next door, if it's to their spouse, if it's to around the world, whatever that may look like. Don't make it more grandiose than it is. Don't make it more than it is, but please, my friends, don't make it less than it is. There are eruptions in time where the will of God actually begins to be done by those who are his sons. It matters what you do, and it matters when you do it. These suddenlies are preceded by much deep process. And I don't want you to miss this flashpoint time that we are in right now. Think upon these things. Get with him. Let him speak to you. But my friends, don't ever be outwitted to think that the ordinary obedience of every day does not lead right into flashpoint moments in history that are going to affect your world, that are going to affect your family and your generation for his glory. He has always used the nameless and faceless people who simply stayed with him. And yes, then they became known. But it's in the ordinary of our lives that he begins to be known and to be seen. So my friends, I love you all. Let's be those people who recognize, no matter how dark it may appear, we're the sons of light. Let us be those who recognize what he is doing before it all breaks on the scene. And let's let him get us ready so that when it's time for thousands and thousands and thousands of people to begin to find a house, to find a people, to find true sons, trustworthy sons who are leading houses of abiding fire. They're going to be ready to be a doorkeeper in the house of their God. And they are going to count it a privilege to hold the door open and to be a door into him. As other people want to find him, and you are also his door. You're kind of a double door, my friends. You're the door for him to enter into this hour of history, and you're a door for others to enter in and find him. Wow, come on, my friends. This is our time. This is our season. We're Flashpoint people, and I love you all. Talk to you soon.
For more information on Nancy, please visit nancymccready.com or follow her on social media at NB McCready.